Hey everybody, this is Steve with the Sunday Stoic Podcast. Going for a bit of a walk before lunch. Things are calmed down here in my semester. I'm a teacher, as you may know, and I thought I'd go for a walk on the nature reserve on campus before going back to my desk. Just did a bit of a run. Started running, trying to do it in a stoic way, because I don't really like it yet. I've heard you might like running after doing it for a long time, but I haven't found that joy. Of course, I do it inside most of the time, which is pretty boring, but it's easy to do that on campus. But I fell out of it again for a bit, but I'm still able to run about 1.5 miles. I got to get back up to about 3 miles, which is my goal. But I've been trying to get back into that and all that good stuff. But I just thought I'd say howdy because I was just thinking about the approaching Christmas season and the chaos that's about to ensue. Here in my hemisphere, as you can see, the trees have lost their leaves. Have a look around here. The trees have lost their leaves. The climate is cooling further north from here. It probably is snowing right now. And no matter your views on religion or which faith you may practice, you're well aware most likely that this is the season where people think about giving and gifts and all that commercial stuff that goes along with the holiday season. And so I'm trying to imagine the philosophical way to celebrate Christmas. And first of all, I think it's cultivating gratitude. The gratitude of having people that want to be around with you, and hopefully people you want to be around. I know that can be a challenge as well for many people. But hopefully there's some small cohort of people or a huge family that wants to see you and you would like to see them. But focus on being there and on simple pleasures, if you will, rather than extravagant gifts. And of course, there are some that you'll want to give gifts to. I'm looking forward to giving gifts to my son and to my nephews and nieces, and perhaps my mom. I'm going to try to make her a cutting board using a cutting board that my grandfather made back in the 70s or 80s. He made a cutting board that looked like a pig. And I'm going to try to trace his and cut it out and make a new cutting board using it as a template. So it has meaning to it. It's not just commercial nonsense. So I try to give meaningful gifts or bottles of booze to adults rather than junk. If I can't think of what to give someone, I'll give them a bottle of booze. But I hate it when people think they have to buy me a gift. I would rather, I believe, as I'm approaching 40th birthday here very soon, I believe I would rather have experiences than shite. I would rather have a weekend in a cabin with my family, or a whitewater rafting trip, or fall out of an airplane, or take flying lessons if I don't want to fall out of the airplane. But things to do rather than stuff to fill my home with. Unless that stuff is very meaningful and very important, has some kind of significance to it. The other thing I think of, other than gifts, and my philosophy of gifts, is the stress of travel. And I've done podcasts on the road before. And by the way, those of you not from this area, here you see this lush green stand of trees, of shrubs, a shrubbery growing here. Those are invasive. That's Chinese privet brought in from, well, I assume China, and has escaped and spread all over and chokes out the native woodlands here in Arkansas. A bit of natural history for you today. But traveling can be quite stressful, and I prepare for it with premeditatio malorum, planning ahead. My child will scream We will all have to stop to go to the bathroom when we don't want to. We will get hungry and cranky. We should plan ahead so we don't get too hungry and cranky, and so that we don't eat crap, salty, chocolatey crap on the road. We should strive to plan ahead. So the thing I like about Stoicism is that it's so practical. It's not just some lofty thing about the soul of man and how it can arise higher. It is about those things in some ways, but it's also about how to survive everyday life, how to have a philosophy about buying things, how to have a philosophy about giving things, and then expand that circle out, how to have a philosophy about protecting this world that we live in. So it's multifaceted, like a Russian nested doll, like the circles of concern teach us. Anyway, this has been a rambly walk through the woods with me, and thanks for joining me. But remember, this philosophy is not just about sitting and thinking, it's about applying. So have a stoic Christmas. Enjoy your loved ones. Give generously, and do not expect to receive. And give thoughtfully. Anyway, carpe diem.